Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of The Extra Point. I'm your host, Kate Woynerowski. On Zoom with me tonight, I have Griffin Barfield, RJ Filet, and Patrick Driscoll. Hello, everyone. Welcome
Y'all.
back.
Hello.
What up?
Happy homecoming week. Are we excited for the homecoming festivities?
I'm real excited.
Yeah, the float's already looking great. Every single time I'm on campus, I make sure I walk past them, see all the progress. It's gonna be a good weekend.
Oh, it really is. I'm so excited. And I'm most excited for the Syracuse game that will be Saturday at noon. So do we just want to start off there with the pick'ems?
Let's
It's
do
do
it.
We already know
Top
who
15
win that
matchup.
game.
I mean, who do you guys have for that game? I mean, it'll be interesting because we've got number 14 Syracuse and number 5 Clemson. Homecoming, noon. Let's admit we're gonna all pick the home team, right?
Yeah, home team.
Of course.
That's correct.
Of course.
Come on now.
All right. Who wants to go first with their analysis?
I can. I mean,
All right, RJ, go ahead.
ranked number 5. It's homecoming week. Everybody gonna be hyped up. So I already have my outfit planned out a month ahead. So we better win.
That's dedication right there. I'll give you that.
Yeah. So I'm just ready. It's gonna be a good game.
All right. Patrick.
Yeah, about RJ's outfit real quick. Y'all gotta watch out because he's gonna be drifting on campus Saturday. It's gonna be a sight to see. But going back to the game, so it's pretty funny actually. I was talking to a Syracuse student who's gonna be in town who I went to high school with, and even he was saying Syracuse is overrated. I back that. I think Syracuse is overrated. Number 14 in the nation, but their biggest win was against an NC State team without Devin Leary. DJ and Will Shipley have been absolutely crushing it this year. Our defense has been sort of inconsistent at times, but I don't think it matters. Like RJ said, it's homecoming week. Everyone's fired up. The Clemson Tigers, they're looking good so far this year, and I think they're going to win pretty comfortably come Saturday.
All right. Griffin.
Syracuse is so overrated, man. Like,
Yep.
so this is the first time I think a 6-0 team is ever coming to Death Valley. I think that's ever or in a very long time. First of all, it's Death Valley. It's very hard to win if you're an away team at Death Valley. And I really do not like this matchup for Syracuse. Once again, like Patrick said, they played an NC State team that didn't have Devin Leary, who was a huge spot, played a vital role in that offense. I think that Syracuse is big on their run game, and the fact that you have to go into a 3-headed monster of Xavier Thomas, Brian Brasine, KJ Henry, and so many others, I think that's just so hard to do. And Garrett Schrader, I don't think will live up to the hype, the Syracuse QB, and I like Clemson in a romping. I think it's a blowout.
All right. Well, we'll see. I think with the sold-out environment, let's hope that it'd be another good NC State game where hopefully we just mostly dominate. So should be fun. But let's move on now to the college game day, game of the week. So we've got number 9 UCLA and number 10 Oregon. Guys, this is an interesting Pac-12 matchup we've got here. Who do we have?
The Bruins.
Oregon.
Okay.
Go UCLA.
Let's go, RJ.
Patrick, do you want to start?
I was so torn with this matchup. I love the matchup. 2 top 10 teams in the Pac-12 scoring off, 2 high-powered offenses going at it. And what really had me leaning with UCLA is I just love the storyline of Chip Kelly coming into Autzen Stadium. Basically, he was the guy that took Oregon to national prominence the past decade, or even longer than that, since the late 2000s or whatnot. But this is the guy that turned Oregon into an elite program. He has been around Autzen Stadium all the time. This environment is not going to affect him. I think he's going to tell his team how to prepare in the best way possible. And the Bruins, their past 2 wins against high-powered Washington offense and that Utah team that people were predicting to make the playoff with Cameron Rising. So I don't know. I just like UCLA. I really like DTR at quarterback, and it's gonna be a really fun matchup with him and Bo Nix. But UCLA is gonna take this one in a high scoring bout.
All
Yeah.
right, all right. Yeah. Griffin.
I'm going with Oregon. Something tells my gut, they got absolutely dominated by Georgia, but I think Bo Nix is getting to learn this offense a lot more. What popped out to me is that UCLA have only had one away game after Oregon, and that was against Colorado. Wasn't that big, and you're going into a packed out college game day, Oregon Stadium. Home team is going to play a huge role here. Like Patrick said, I think it's going to be a high scoring game, and I think Oregon wins in the shootout.
All right. RJ.
Yeah, I agree with both of them. It's gonna be a high scoring game, but I just feel like UCLA, they're gonna win since they already beat a ranked team, which was Utah. And Oregon, they got stumped by Georgia at the beginning of the year. So I just feel like something telling me UCLA.
All right, all right. And Patrick, you did remind me. I forgot that Chip Kelly was at Oregon before. So that will make it really fun, in my opinion.
Love
And
the storyline for that.
no, I think it's a good one. And UCLA last year, they were also coming into a big game undefeated and they lost as well. And we'll see what happens this year. See, that's different. So, all right, let's move on now. We've got a Big 12 matchup. We've got number 20 Texas and number 11 Oklahoma State. Now, both these teams have lost, but who comes out on top?
Horns.
Texas.
Yeah, I'm going with
Horns.
Texas.
Texas. All right, everyone's got Texas. All right, Griffin.
Something tells me Texas. I texted this whole group on Sunday saying if Texas is, or Saturday saying if Texas is back or not. I'm just really high on this team. I think Quinn Ewers is going to bounce back against an Oklahoma State team that's been letting quarterbacks romp all over them. And I think that Texas offense is going to be able to pull out a win in a very close game. I think I see this going either way, but I like Texas. They're back.
All right, RJ.
I don't know. I just like Texas because they almost came up close beating Alabama. So I just feel like Oklahoma State, I think they rank 11 and Texas 20. So Texas, this gonna be a steal game. Like you gotta pay attention. I'm leaning towards Texas, so I'm just going with Texas. It's a steal game though.
All right, go with your gut. I respect it. Patrick.
Yeah, Griffin had a good point saying Oklahoma State has been letting quarterbacks just absolutely kill them this year. Quinn Ewers, he's just a stud. He's a stud. That's all I gotta say about him. And that's just about the quarterback situation. You can't forget about my main man, Bijan Robinson. If you can't stop the pass, what are you gonna do when it comes to the run? Bijan, I think he's gonna run for over 150 yards this game. I think Texas is going to look sharp on offense. And Oklahoma State, yes, they have Spencer Sanders, who I absolutely love at quarterback. He's an absolute playmaker. But I think at the end of the day, the Texas offense is just going to be too strong for Oklahoma State to outscore. And Texas is going to get the win right here.
All right. Interesting. Given that the game is at Oklahoma State, you think that maybe it'll be interesting because Texas is going into there and it'll be to Stillwater, and will be interesting to see how they come out based on last week's performance against Iowa State. So definitely will be an interesting game to watch there. But let's move on now to the team that Texas almost beat. We've got number 6 Alabama having number 24 Mississippi State come over to town. So guys, does Alabama come back from that game last week against Tennessee and beat Mississippi State?
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. No.
Yeah.
I mean, even though I hate Alabama, yeah, but
RJ, you want to start on this?
I mean, Nick Saban don't like losing for one. And like looking at that game, it was so funny to me because he just don't like losing. And like when he lose, he have a straight face and stuff. And like they gonna come in with that mindset and beat them boys because I think they probably knock out the playoffs now since they lost to Tennessee. Yeah.
All right. Patrick?
Look, every time Alabama gets brought up in our college football pick'ems, it's always it'll always be the time I talk the least amount because it's Alabama. I don't care if they lost. Nick Saban, I don't know what he said to them after that game. Probably gave them a little time, but oh man, I'd be scared of that guy at practice the following week. And Will Anderson also, he's going to be holding some aura around him on defense. Like him and the rest of the team are just going to be so fired up. I'm not even going to mention any other players. Alabama's just going to come in there and kick some butt because they're going to be angry. So watch out for an angry Alabama team.
Yeah, no, definitely. Griffin?
We're going to Alabama. Like Patrick said, Alabama is going to be pissed off. And this isn't they got a really tough schedule, I'd say. They got LSU, and they have a game at Ole Miss, who is 7, and that could be a huge factor for the college football playoff, let alone SEC championship. If they lose, they're done.
Yep.
So I think Alabama's pissed off. They're going to try to gain some momentum going into Ole Miss, and I think they rout the Mississippi State Bulldogs.
All right. Well, and we'll definitely bring up Alabama again after this next game because we'll have to talk about that SEC, what's going on there. So
She's scary.
Yeah.
So glad we're not in that. I am so glad we are not in the SEC.
Oh yeah. Me neither.
Agreed.
Just imagine if we play Alabama every year. Like that game be so packed.
It'd be fun, but it'd be a lot. But it'd be stressful for real. But before we get to that, let's go to another Big 12 matchup. We got number 17 Kansas State at number 8 TCU. Guys, does TCU continue to go undefeated?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Patrick?
So this game, TCU, all I gotta say is I really don't know too many names from either team. All I know is TCU has shocked a lot of people this year, but they're solid. They are very solid. I still think they're a little underlooked because of all the crazy football games going on. Remind me, who did they play last week? I know it was a really tight game, right?
Oklahoma State.
Yes.
State, yes. And it was an insane game. And it was so back and forth and high scoring, but no one is talking about it because of obviously Tennessee and Bama last week. But TCU, they got some cats. I love them. They're undefeated. This whole campus is so fired up. And it's at home. So the stadium's going to be rocking. The players, the momentum's high, the coaching staff, everything there is clicking. So I have the Horned Frogs in this one.
All right, Griffin?
I got TCU. They've been waiting for this moment ever since the Trevon Boykin era. Oh my gosh, I remember that.
Yeah.
But I think TCU is one of these under the radar teams that could make the playoff. They're undefeated. If they win the Big 12 championship in big fashion, they could be one of those people that are on the cusp, either between 4 and 6. I think they pull out a win here and they strengthen their resume even more.
All right. RJ, do we agree with this?
I agree. Home field advantage. TCU, looking at them for the past couple weeks in my college pick'ems, I've been picking them. So they got that momentum. They're gonna be a playoff team, but I don't know how far they might make it, but they're gonna be a good one.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see there because if they stay undefeated and win the Big 12 championship, then what happens with the playoff picture and how does that impact it? I don't know. But let's start with that. We've got the word game. So we're going to start with talking about the SEC once again. After Tennessee beat Alabama this weekend, the picture for the SEC championship just got a little murkier. Guys, the best team in the SEC is blank.
Georgia.
Tennessee.
Georgia,
man.
You'll see.
Georgia. They let I think that was Kent State or someone. Like, no, I ain't forgot about them. You see what happened to Alabama when Georgia played Tennessee? Tennessee gonna beat them. Just watch.
I still think Tennessee's the third best team in the SEC.
I agree.
Do you? Okay.
I agree.
I think Bama's still
You
number
just gonna
2.
have to see.
All right. I mean, let's hear it.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was right. Before last week, I told y'all like Tennessee gonna beat Alabama and knock them out the playoffs. And look, Tennessee beat Alabama.
Yeah.
So
True. Griffin?
I think it's Georgia. Like RJ said, that Tennessee-Georgia game is going to be huge for that picture, but you're in Athens. There's no way Georgia loses that game, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Offense and defense looks complete to me. Stetson Bennett's back, and he's got receivers. Brock Bowers gets double teamed every game, and teams struggle sometimes. We've seen that with Georgia, with Kent State, and even Missouri. They struggle, but they'll bounce back. This has been seen with every good team this year. They always have one game where they get close, but then they pull it out. It always happens. I think Georgia's the best team, and they'll prove it.
All right. Yeah. Patrick.
Georgia's the best team. It's funny because the amount of people that aren't talking about Georgia is insane. Like their team is so good and no one is talking about them this year. Like it's honestly blowing my mind. You have so much experience from that national championship team that's still around last year. Like Griffin mentioned, Brock Bowers, and then you have Stetson Bennett. He's won a national championship as a quarterback. You have cornerback, I might butcher his name, but Kaylee Ringo, absolute stud. And then you can't forget about Jalen Carter either on the line. Those are just that's just a handful of guys on this Georgia team that is just so talented. And you have Kirby Smart leading those guys. He knows what he's doing at this program. No one's talking about the Dogs. And sure, they had one close game against Mizzou, but it doesn't matter. It just happens. It's college football. And right now, there's nothing that they have done wrong to make me like change my mind. Georgia's the number one team in the SEC, and they're gonna beat Tennessee come November 5th too.
All right.
That'll be a fun one, but Georgia pulls that
Get
one
that
out.
whole game.
That'd be a good one.
That'll be a fun one.
I agree with Griffin and Patrick. I think Georgia right now is the best team in the SEC. I think Tennessee is I think their offense right now is going to be really hard to stop. I think if you're Georgia, that key is going to be your defense and how that's going to turn out, because we definitely saw the Alabama's defense. They could not handle the wide receivers, and especially with that secondary just getting cooked. So that will be interesting. I think also you have to look at Ole Miss right now. I think they're definitely being underlooked. I don't know. I think that matchup with Bama is going to be critical. Is it at Alabama this year?
It's at Ole Miss.
It's at Ole Miss.
It's at Ole Miss.
Okay. That changes me. That changes my perspective just a little bit, because if it were at Alabama, I'd feel a little differently. I'd feel more confident for Alabama, but I don't know. I think also Bama losing to Tennessee though means horror for the rest of their schedule. I mean,
Will Anderson is going to absolutely destroy some people on the field in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah,
I agree.
I agree with that too. And so I think it'll be interesting because it will come down to those two games, Georgia, Tennessee, and then Ole Miss, Alabama, and then those winners will play for the championship and probably a playoff spot. So that's kind of exciting. So in my honest opinion, I think right now Georgia's the best team in the SEC, but my mind can honestly change in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So we'll see what happens there. All right, we'll move on now to the NFL. We've got a huge story coming out of the NFL. Dan Snyder, the Washington Commanders owner, has merit to be forced out, according to Colts owner Jim Irsay last night. So guys, Dan Snyder will or will not be forced out of Washington?
He will.
He will, but it's going to be a lengthy process for sure.
Yeah. I was going to say, like, how soon do you think it will be? Do you think it'll be soon, or do you think it'll be a long time?
About next week.
God.
It's not gonna
I wish
happen.
I could be that optimistic. Yeah.
I don't know, he might be out right now.
I think if the Commanders want to succeed, they have to get him out by the end of the season. The question, though, is if they can do it, because I feel like it would hurt their draft class. I feel like it would hurt free agents if you're coming to Washington and they have a nutty, what is it, GM? He's a GM?
Yeah.
Yeah, if he's a nutty GM, why are you going to play under him? I just feel like that's just going to be a rough time. I think they need to get him out.
Snyder?
Snyder's the owner.
Snyder's the owner.
Oh, the owner.
The owner. So that's where it gets complicated.
Yeah, so all the other NFL owners have to come to a vote to force him out. And the problem Mhm.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say 24 owners have to vote yes. And the problem right now is that it came out on an ESPN article the other day that he hired a PI to investigate some of the NFL owners, and he claims that he has dirt on them and Goodell. So, and honestly, as a Washington fan, it has definitely been interesting to see kind of why he has not been removed, because I think he should have been removed a long time ago and it just hasn't happened. So this would probably explain why. But of course, he came out last night saying that this article is just fake and the claims are untrue. But who knows? So yeah, what are you guys' takes on that part of it?
I feel like, oh, you can go.
Yeah, I guess I'll go real quick. So trying I was thinking about this, and when you have scandals with owners, the thing that's very tricky about them is especially with something that's going on with Snyder, is you don't have outright evidence right now at the moment. With the Clippers owner Donald Sterling almost 10 years ago, there was hard-based evidence on what he did, and that was why they were able to drive him out so quick. For Snyder to get out of here, you need to have 24 out of 32 owners to vote him out. And Jim Irsay, a former owner himself, was explaining how it takes months and months for owners to even come to a conclusion of voting. So it's tricky. It stinks because obviously the guy is kind of crazy and he doesn't seem like the best guy, but he's the owner. He like no one can really kick him out except if he decides to sell the team. So basically I'm just gonna end that with, it's gonna be hard, but it's 2022. Nowadays it's easier to drive people out for doing stupid things, which is good, but it's gonna be a lengthy process. So I believe he'll be out, just it might take longer than some people wish for.
Mm-hmm.
All
Yeah.
right. How
I
I
agree.
feel about it. So they gonna get him out of there, but I feel like he gonna tell on everybody like who got undercover dirt and stuff. But I feel like it wouldn't take a long time because they ain't waste no time getting my old head coach. What his name? What his name? John Gruden. They got him out of here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they waste no time getting him out of there. So I just feel like it's
Good point.
2022. They gonna come on, time to go.
Yeah. And I was gonna add, and I can add to this, I think it's not just the sexual misconduct stuff. He also has been tasked with trying to build a new stadium for the Commanders for years, and nothing has come out of it. And apparently, Maryland Governor Larry Hogan has come out and saying what a nightmare the whole process has been because of him as well. So politicians are also fed up with him, which is also telling to that point. So I think that's also something that I found kind of interesting as well. But Griffin, do you have anything more you want to say on that topic?
I mean, you heard what I said. I feel like it hurts, like just like the player morale. I feel like if you're just playing under an owner who's under controversy, I think it just hurts team performance as a whole. So I feel like you just need a clean house. Maybe if it comes to the owner, if it comes to the GM, even if it comes to Ron Rivera, the head coach, I think you have to create a better mentality on that franchise because it's very, very cloudy right now.
Yeah, I think it will take like years to rebuild, which it stinks right now to be a Washington fan because of that. But that's okay. Our other host who was before me, Wide Street, he's a huge Washington fan as well. So we've been talking about this like the whole week. So shout out to him for bearing with this too. So all right. Last topic for Word Game. We're talking about playoff baseball. So right now we've got 4 teams standing. And guys, the teams that will advance to the World Series are blank and blank.
Yankees and the Philippines. I think I said it right. No.
What you say?
It's Philippines or
Phillies.
Phillies.
Yeah.
Okay, good
Good
pick.
Yankees, but I know a lot of people talk about the Yankees and this and that. So Yankees.
All right. Anyone else who has their picks?
I got the Yanks and Phillies.
Okay. Yep.
I'll
Griffin?
go. I'm gonna go against. I'm gonna go Astros Phillies. Um,
Ooh.
yeah, I love the
Boo.
Astros. They're such a complete team. They went to the World Series last year. Didn't even have Justin Verlander. He's back. He's a huge Cy Young candidate. I know they got rid of Carlos Correa. They got Jeremy Pena now. They're just a very complete team. And Kate, I know me being a Mets fan, you being a Nationals fan, and basically everyone else on campus being a Braves fan doesn't like seeing the Phillies up there. Obviously, I know you'd probably want the Padres because of Juan Soto, but there's something different about this Phillies team. It's a great time to be a Philly fan, and these fans are nuts about their whole Red October campaign, and they just continue to dominate. And I think that they're going to take this momentum into the World Series. They're already up a game, so
Yep.
they're playing right now. But I don't know the
Score
score
right now.
What's up?
Does
I'll
anyone
look.
know the score right now?
I'll look it up.
I think the Phillies were
Se-
up.
7-4 Padres, top six.
Oh,
Oh, the Phillies were up big before. Okay,
Yeah.
that's interesting. Yeah, I have actually Griffin, a couple of my best friends. I have best friends that are Phillies fans, and I have a best friend who's a Yankees fan. So I am actually excited for both of them. I can tell you that. And I'm excited for the Phillies, actually, to be honest. I think it's always exciting to have an NL East team go far because again, that says a lot about our division. So
I agree.
I always try and I'm happy for Bryce Harper too, despite kind of everything,
Oh,
and
yeah.
Kyle Schwarber, two former Nats as well. So that's definitely been interesting to see Josh Bell, Juan Soto, and then Schwarber and Harper square off. As a Nats fan, that's kind of enjoyable for me. So, but yeah, I think it'll be a really interesting series, especially both of those will be interesting series. So be exciting. All right. Let's go now to the NFL. We're going to start with some pick'ems. So we're going to start with tomorrow night, the Thursday night football matchup, which, my gosh, let me tell you, I think that has been very entertaining the last couple weeks to watch. I mean, I think I literally turned off the Washington game with 2 minutes left last week. So
yeah.
I didn't even look at
Oh,
it.
my
but
Lord.
I'm
okay.
sorry, the Bears. I know it was.
that was brutal.
Uh,
It was
can't
funny.
even talk
I hate to
about
be a
it.
Bears fan.
I am, man. It's tough living for us.
It's fine. I'm not gonna lie, I turned off the TV with 2 minutes left, and then I saw that you guys were in fourth for goal, and I turned the TV back on because I'm like, wait a second.
I mean, we have a
shot.
25-year-old rookie muffing punts for the second week in a row. You got Justin Fields. Like every time the camera panned on him, he was just looked like he was in so much agony because he was getting hit so hard. Like,
Yeah, that was not fun to watch. And as a Commanders fan, I felt awful to see that. And I think Fields is very underutilized. He definitely is not.
good.
They are not playing to his strengths, and that is so frustrating for me to watch because
Yeah, it hurts for sure.
I know how good he is. So I'm sorry about that. Meanwhile, our quarterback's now out for a whole month because of that finger incident. So
I don't think you guys will miss him too much.
no, but I don't know who. But like, I'll be honest, who do we have anyway? So it doesn't really matter. But let's move on now to this coming week's matchups. We've got the 2-4 Saints at the 2-4 Cardinals. So we got teams with the same record, so it should be good, but there better be scoring, I swear. Guys, who do you have for this?
Oh, I got the Cardinals.
Cardinals.
Coming back, and he on my fantasy team. I need him to go off. I'm 0-6 in fantasy. I need him to go off. I'm benching Chris
You held
Olave.
on to him. I respect it.
I love that.
I benched Chris Olave because he was injured, but they say he expected to play. But nah, I need Hopkins to go off.
Oh man, you're risking it with this matchup because you're taking Hopkins over Olave in this one. Oh, ooh, that's a risk, but you know what? I respect it. I think Hopkins could go off in this game.
Yeah, he from Clemson.
That too. You can't turn your back on that. Patrick?
I have the Cards too. I think even though Hollywood is banged up now, the emergence of Hopkins coming back is huge for AZ. the way they utilized him last year, I believe last year was his first year at the Cardinals. Am I correct? Or is that 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
2 years
Wow.
ago was the Hail Mary.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. But still, it doesn't matter. Like, it's D-Hop. He's one of the best receivers in the league. Kyler Murray is probably so excited to have him back. And yeah, I think the Saints, Jameis, I think he's gonna play now. Michael Thomas looking a little murky, but still, I think the Saints are a little banged up too. I just think D-Hop coming back for the Cardinals is just so big to them. They're gonna be very excited. Cliff Kingsbury is gonna be really excited. They're gonna come out there and take the win on Thursday night. Hopefully, it's not a boring game. So,
Fingers crossed. Griffin.
I have the Cardinals, like Patrick said. I feel like the addition of Hopkins is huge. Rondell Moore's getting involved in this offense more. You're seeing this Cardinals air raid offense come back together, which made them so successful. I just think the injuries of the Saints makes it too uncertain to kind of pick them. Olave is a little bit banged up. I think Jarvis Landry is banged up as well as Michael Thomas. So I just like the Cardinals. I feel like Hopkins is a huge game.
All right. Let's move on now. We got never same record matchup. We've got the Colts and we've got the Titans. Both are 3-2. Who do you have for this?
Colts are overrated.
Tennessee.
Let's
Colts.
just get that out the way. They overrated.
Colts.
They
Tennessee.
shouldn't even be 3-2
Colts.
right now.
I was gonna say, how are they 3-2? I'm looking at this record.
They beat the Chiefs.
And
The Broncos was a bad one, and then
Broncos don't count. The Broncos. I'll get into them later. I'll get into the
I'll get
Broncos.
into
I'm gonna rip
Broncos
them a
later.
new one.
but I got the Titans.
Okay. All
I
right.
got Tennessee too.
Colts.
All right. Griffin, you want to start with the controversy?
I like the Colts in this game. Matt Ryan was finally getting it together on the offense. Jonathan Taylor's back. That's huge. Naeem Hines could be back. The use of, I think, Deontay Jackson was his name, the running back, Deion Jackson. Something around that. Michael Pittman Jr. had a huge game. Alec Pierce. That offense looked complete for once. Everyone was getting the ball. I just really do not like this Tennessee offense. I feel like it's one-dimensional. I feel like if you stop Henry, you win a game, and I think the Colts defense could do that.
All right. RJ,
I
shaking
don't
your
think
head
so.
over there.
The Titans, Derrick Henry, he gonna run over Colts defense. Cause like looking at the Colts game when they played the Broncos, it was like the game was so boring and like it making me seem like I need to come out of retirement and help them. And I feel like the Colts, Jonathan Taylor might come back, but Matt Ryan, he old. He don't got it in him no more. He need to hang it up. Like Brady about to hang it up. So yeah, Titans.
All right. Patrick.
It's funny because Griffin was almost convincing me to change my pick because he had so many good points. But still, I'm gonna stand firm with Tennessee. Derrick Henry, they have really utilized him so well the past couple of games. 100+ rushing yards the past 2 games. They're getting him involved in the passing offense. Obviously, there's not too much going on with Tennessee's offense other than King Henry. You still got guys like Treylon Burks, who I'm really high on. But the Colts, last week their offense did look great, and I like how Michael Pittman got involved last week a lot. I just don't think it's going to happen again this week. I am also an Alec Pierce fan, but still. JT's a little banged up. Deion Jackson, I think, is questionable for the game, actually. So I think their backfield's still kind of banged up. Tennessee, I just like the way they've been playing the past couple weeks. I'm going to go with them.
All right. So we'll see what happens there, and we'll see if the Colts can upset the Titans. So let's move on now. We've got the 5-1 Giants. My gosh, I cannot believe I'm saying
This
that.
can't be real.
I know, right?
This cannot be real.
Love that. I love that.
I
love that.
I love it for them though.
No, I know. It's crazy. What the heck, right?
They've been through so much.
They really have. And Daniel Jones, look at him. He's playing like
He's doing the job.
He
He's doing the job.
Danny Dimes.
He's doing the job.
Yeah. we all expected him to. So they're playing the Jaguars. Guys, do we have them going 6-1?
Yes.
Yes, we do.
You do.
I'll tell you why. Because Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley is playing on a contract, and
Mhm.
I would love to see the Giants go 6-1. I mean, Giants. I don't think Giants ever had a good record like that before.
No,
I don't think so.
Not in my lifetime.
no.
When they
Yeah,
won the Super Bowl, it's not like they were a powerhouse. So yeah.
They were
Yeah.
9-7. They were a wild card team.
that's
Boom.
well.
Yeah. Then they had Odell back when he first came.
Yeah,
That's all I knew the Giants for, and
Yeah.
Eli Manning.
yeah. No, that's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I guess we could just say the Giants and move on with that. Because I really want to
Hey,
get
come on.
to the 4-2
Giants.
Jets. Again, what's going on in New York, people?
It's a great
Sauce,
time to be a New York fan.
Sauce Gardner.
That's a good point. Sauce Gardner. I mean,
And they're playing the Broncos.
Broncos gonna
Are
lose.
my least favorite team in the NFL. I pick them every single time and always have so much faith in Russell Wilson finally figuring it out.
lied.
But he never does. His teammates don't believe. His teammates do not believe anymore. There is a video of Jerry Jeudy and Melvin
Yeah.
Gordon on the sideline, like talking to each other's ears and all that. And yeah, this whole Broncos Russell Wilson project is not going well at all. This team chemistry is terrible right now. It doesn't matter. The Jets are looking great. I love Robert Saleh. He fires those boys up, and the Jets are going to give the Broncos the work because the Broncos are sorry and they can't figure it out.
Yeah, they don't want more punts
I
too.
agree.
Like, come on, man. They been dropping the balls, everything. I don't know. Like, I love for them to go 2-5 and my Raiders win and we move up.
Hey, anything for your Raiders. I love it. No, it's so true. Griffin.
The Jets offense is honestly fun to watch. Brees Hall's, great. Zach
Beast.
Wilson doesn't have to do anything. He only threw for like 150 yards. The Jets are going to pick up their 5th one against the Broncos, and Gianni is going to have his 5th ice cream of the year.
All right. RJ, do you have anything more to say on this?
It's just kind of crazy to see this, like the Jets 4-2. Like, they've been through so much as well. But I like Sauce Gardner for some reason. Like, he never allowed a touchdown in his college years, and like he still
Ran out with the cheese head. He ran out the dang cheese head.
Right.
Yes,
As
it's
he
all on
should.
social media.
It
He's
was
got all
awesome.
the talk to back it.
So Jets, I got no. Broncos, no. They're gonna find a way to lose. They the Broncos.
Mhm.
Broncos do Broncos things.
Yep, you're not wrong. All right, for the last pick, you can just say the team. You don't need analysis, just quick pick. Chiefs,
Chiefs.
49ers.
Is
49ers.
Patty Mahomes, Travis Kelce,
49ers.
what else to be said?
Oh, got the controversial pick going. All right, well, that's another episode of us. Hopefully the last one on Zoom next week. Should be back.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers
fun.
crossed. We get back in the studio next week and for another episode of the Extra Point. So bye everyone.
Yeah.